Perfect. Hey Alex, how are you?
Good, thanks. How are you, Blake?
Yeah, good, thank you. Happy that it is Friday. I don't know about you, I've definitely
Delighted.
had one of those weeks. I always find towards the end of every month, and now I suppose because it's July, we're heading into sort of that middle of the summer season in the UK. It definitely, it's definitely feels like a Friday to me, but it's one where it's packed like a Monday, mentally like a Friday.
Absolutely. No, all I can say is TGIF. It's been quite a week.
Yeah, definitely. I think we're just going to give the attendees just a couple of minutes to
Yeah.
make their way in. Um, but yeah, I know that we were having a chat just before this, and yeah, it definitely seems that this July, I'm not sure if not as many people have gone on holiday as normal over the summer months, but definitely finding that right now. Yeah, busy as always, and I think it's just a great testament to HubSpot at the moment. I think people are realizing the need for a CRM software that can do it all essentially.
Absolutely.
Cool.
I
So,
agree.
welcome to everyone who has joined us so far. Really great to have you. Just as a bit of an introduction, my name is Blake Roberts. Probably the first time if you're joining a Boom webinar, seeing myself. I am a HubSpot consultant at Boom, and yeah, it's really a great pleasure to have you guys on today. We will be essentially talking about how to maximize your CRM platform and using just custom tools for enhancing that user experience. So I'm joined by my colleague Alex, who will be walking us through today's content. But before I hand it over to her with her introductions and everything, I just wanted to dive into a bit of housekeeping items. So this webinar is being recorded, and we'll share the recording with you guys afterwards. If at any point you have any question during this presentation, please feel free to type it in the Q&A box you'll see at the bottom of your screen, and then we'll address them, together as we go. And you're more than welcome to use the chat functionality to engage with us and other attendees if you want to pop in a hello or anything like that and let us know who's on the webinar. Yeah, it would be great to hear from you. Great. All right, perfect. I can see more people are attending, so welcome to everyone who's just joined. I think it's just on a matter of time. We're going to get started just so that we can get through everything. Today, we're really going to look at how to transform, HubSpot CRM to basically suit your exact needs. And what we have realized from this is that whether you're in marketing or sales or customer success, a one type fits all approach never works within a business setting. Marketing is going to look at certain parameters that matter to them on, getting new customers through the door, new prospects through the door. Sales is going to look at items that matter to help them close, and then customer success is going to look at areas on how to further improve that customer journey. All right, great. So, Alex, I will now hand it over to you so that you can dive into it. Yeah, it's a pleasure hosting this webinar with you.
Likewise, Blake, thank you. I'll just do a little bit of an intro on myself. Hello, everybody who has joined. My name is Alex, and I am a HubSpot consultant here at BBD Boom. And as Blake mentioned, we're just going to go through the CRM record customization, see what's new within the features. HubSpot recently sort of introduced CRM cards. So I'm going to show you what that is all about in the webinar today. And please, if anybody has any questions, pop them in the chat, and Blake will be there to assist and answer those questions while I am busy demoing. So I think we can get started. Perfect. So just for the purpose of this webinar, I'm going to be demoing in our BBD Boom test portal, just because some of our other portals are a little bit data sensitive. So I'll just go ahead and get started. And then just one thing to note as well. I have had a lot of requests from some of my clients with regards to record customization. That's why this webinar is being hosted by us. And some of the popular sort of requests is based on deal record customization. So that's what I'm going to be focusing on in the webinar today. But this can, again, this can be applied to basically contacts, companies, and ticket objects within your portal. So I'll just go over to deals over here and record customization. So essentially, record customization can be applied to all unassigned users within your HubSpot portal. But again, it just depends on the information that you want those unassigned users to be able to view within your portal. So I'll just go ahead and show you sort of the default view and what that currently looks like. And again, this is a brand new feature within HubSpot as well. Before, when you wanted to customize a record, it would show you customize the left sidebar, customize the middle sidebar, customize the right sidebar. And now with this new update, you can do it all in one place as opposed to going back and forth and customizing those records. So again, focusing on the deal object today. On the left-hand side, which is essentially what you see when you go into a deal record, we basically just get sort of an overview on the deal information that you want to see. So if I just click edit over here, this is essentially, again, just an overview of the type of information that you want to see on those deals. The current properties are amount, currency, deal stage, close date, deal owner, and so on and so forth. And you can obviously add in additional properties based on the information that you want to see on that deal. I wouldn't necessarily recommend you do conditional display logic because, again, this is going to be applied for all users. And if you do want to see some of that granular sort of information displayed based on specific logic, that's when I would maybe recommend looking to do it in a team view, for example, which I'll get into after this. But if you do want conditional logic applied to all users within your portal, you absolutely can do that. And you can do that against the conditional display logic over here. So if I choose a property and I want to base it on a specific deal stage, for example, you can choose the value and I'll just choose a specific deal stage. Let's do contract sent. And as soon as all deals meet that deal stage of contract sent, all of these properties will then be applied based on that conditional display logic. Just exit without saving. And the new feature that HubSpot has also released are essentially custom our CRM cards. So if I want to choose sort of any properties displayed, I can add in a specific card based on that specific information. So I'll just go and create a card and you can choose property list and I can just call it anything. So deal information, for example. And then the internal name will be applied as well. So I'll just copy and paste that information. And then if you want to get a little bit more granular on the type of properties that you want to be applied to this card, you can then go and choose those properties. So I'll just choose renewal information, for example, maybe contract start date, contract end date, and contract length. And if I click save, again, you can choose to apply conditional logic, but I'll just save this card for the meantime. That card will then be applied over here, and then you can just drag and drop it according to where you want to see it within that section of the left sidebar. The same can be applied for the middle section as well. So I can, this is essentially the overview tab, which I'm sure you all know, that's just an overview of all of your sort of activities, again, with the activities tab as well. And you can create a custom tab over here. So I'll just call this one deal information as well. I'll save that. And then you can start to add your cards. So you can create as many custom cards as you want. So for the purpose of this, I'll just choose a report card because, again, that's sort of the most popular request I've received so far. And then you can just essentially add in as many deal reports as you want. So I want to see sort of the deals closed totals versus goals. If you are using goals within your portal, you can choose to display that report that will essentially reflect on the middle tab within that deal record. And then you can add in as many sort of reports that you want within that specific card. And the same can then be applied to the right-hand side over here. So some of these cards are default. So they are sort of recommended by HubSpot. They are default cards, but you can choose to remove them if you don't want them to appear within the right-hand side panel within one of your records, or you can choose to create a card based on sort of any association. So if you want to see any contacts that are associated with that deal, any companies or any tickets, you can choose to do that. And then you can apply certain properties based on those objects that are associated to that deal as well. Again, as mentioned, I wouldn't necessarily apply too much customization or conditional logic to these cards. If it is based on all users within your portal, I would then choose to apply that to a specific team within your portal. So I have gone and created just a bit of just an example team view, which I've called deal information. So I'm just going to click on that, and then that essentially will be fully customized according to the specific team. So on the right here, I will assign a team, which will be based on deal information. So we're going to choose the sales team. I'll click done. And this will then assign all specific users within that team to only be able to see this custom view that's based on deal information. And again, over here, we can add a card. So I will just go and create a card. And now I want to go and apply conditional logic on a deal based in a specific deal stage. So maybe I'll call this contract sent. I'll apply that to the internal name as well, just so that everybody within the team knows what that section or that card is about. And then I'll choose the specific properties associated to that. So I'll choose contract start date, contract end date, and contract length. And then I will choose the specific conditional logic, which will be the deal stage. And as soon as that deal stage reaches contract sent within the pipeline, that will essentially be a new card that will be reflected on that deal purely for the sales team to be able to view and monitor.
So Alex, from my side, I get a lot of questions from my clients on if it would be possible to have the property information on the left-hand panel, on the right-hand panel. With this new view, is it still split that it's properties on the left and associations on the right? Or can you
Correct.
now move that information over? Okay.
Yeah. So
Okay,
if I
great.
add a card over here and I create a new one, you can only display properties based on that specific association. So if I choose an association based on contacts, I can pull in properties based on the contact information of that associated object.
Hmm.
And it's
Okay.
limiting, you only have certain amount of properties to choose from.
All right. Yeah, and I think this is really great because one area that I find a lot is that, especially for the various different teams, and please, guys, let us know in the comments if you're unfamiliar with how to set up teams as well in HubSpot. If you haven't taken that step, that's totally cool. But often what we find is that, the sales team are going to be wanting to look at particular information. And as they're going through the various different deal stages, they're going to be adding in more and more information. And what we often find is if they happen to choose something like the product that you guys are offering, maybe there is some conditional logic on there on, product type, maybe the amount, all of that kind of information that is dependent on an initial property. And so that would make a lot of sense for the sales team where they're working with this conditional on if you get the basic information, what information do they need to get to build this full record to essentially quote and get the customer to sign. But that information might not be relevant to someone who is perhaps in the marketing team who just wants to essentially see, all right, this lead that I've brought in from Google Ads, how are they performing? We don't really need to know about the nitty-gritty contracts, STO rates, all of that kind of stuff. We can literally just, see where they are in the pipeline. And so that's why this different views per team can be really helpful, so that you're not bombarded with information, but you only see the stuff that actually matters to you.
Absolutely. Thanks, Blake. Okay, perfect. And then just with regards to adding some more information in the middle panel, I have created, you can create a new tab. So I'll just call this sales team reporting, for example. I'll just go ahead and create that. And then now I want to go in and add a new card. So I'll just create a card, and then this is all of the information that is available to add to that middle panel. So we have things like activity totals, which is counts of maybe inbound and outbound activities that you might have with that deal record, any association labels list, if you do use association labels within your portal, associated properties, association of the stage tracker, so the ability to track the progress of a specific deal within the pipeline, and the tracking of those stages, any association tables. But again, I will just go ahead and create a report card. So for this, you might want to be a little bit more granular with the type of reports that you do want to build, since this is applied to a sales team. So maybe I want to see some of the sales team activities. So I can reflect and choose team activities by activity date, or deals closed by a specific rep, for example. So I'll just go, so we can see deals closed 1 all time by rep. You can choose that, and I would choose subject, as that would be the basis of the report. I can save that, and that will essentially, as soon as the sales team goes in and views that deal record, they'd be able to sort of see the information on that record. And again, for the right-hand side over here, we can add in multiple sort of associations. And I believe even if you do have sort of a native integration, maybe with PandaDocs or Xero or some sort of other native integration, you can add in a standard card that would pull in the information from that. So you would create a card, choose the association from that, and then that will reflect on the right-hand panel over here. Do you know, Blake, does anybody, I can see that there are 2 comments in the chat. If somebody has any questions. Oh, it was you.
But yeah, if anyone has any questions, again, just to those newcomers, feel free to pop your questions in the Q&A. We will use this time to obviously answer them, but at the end of the webinar as well, we can also run through some of yours. So you don't have to wait till the end to pop your question in. Whether it be small or large, feel free to ask. Cool.
Perfect. I'll just show again, you can add in, I'll just create another card based on, let's say, an association table, for example. So again, I'll choose an object that I want to maybe view the association that's associated to that deal object. So let's say things like companies, and then I want to choose a different property. So we have company name. I want to see maybe number of employees associated to that company. So you have all of that information up front within the middle section of that deal record. So that's essentially how you can customize your records within HubSpot. Again, today has just been applied for deals, but you can customize this for contacts, companies, and tickets going forward. And you can use various association labels to make it all sort of cohesive and work for you based on the information that it is that you want to see.
Yeah. Thanks, Alex. I think that was really great. One area that I'm excited about this is just, again, being able to customize per teams. One area to note for anyone who wasn't aware of this, when setting out your teams, you have two options. You can build your main team within HubSpot and then nested teams within HubSpot as well. Just a little side note, if they are in nested teams and you have set certain permissions or views and stuff, it will depend on the umbrella company, the umbrella team in itself, not the nested team. So you might find that your nested team of being, a sales rep, which was in the same area as maybe another type of rep, um, you might find that sometimes if you both in nested, your permissions might be skewed. So that's just something to look at when setting up teams. Maybe that's something that we can just run through a little bit now, Alex, on how
Okay.
to set up teams, just for anyone who is unfamiliar of that.
So under account management in settings within HubSpot, users and teams, I'll click team. And then it's essentially just creating a team. And I want to call this customer success, for example. Let me call it customer success 2. And what Blake means by nested teams, you would put this team under another team. For example, that is essentially a nested team. But again, you can search for specific users, assign it to that team, and just go ahead and save that.
Perfect. Yeah, that's great. Another area that I find quite useful in terms of personalization of accounts is definitely on the records themselves, as you've shown today. That is key. But also when it comes to building out things like various views on a deal record or a contact record as well. I know that sometimes when chatting to customers about this, it's not a feature that's utilized as much as I think it should be, to have various different views. Maybe let's run through that together. It's really great. I think when you're looking at your contact record, or your as you jump into the contacts, and you have that blanket view of all contacts within HubSpot, naturally what happens is, I'm not aware of which ones are my contacts to deal with or Alex's contacts unless I'm really looking at the data, and it's obviously just a dump of context. And so sometimes building out views on different types of parameters or filters can help us jump to that data really quickly. And so, Alex, maybe what we can do is just
Absolutely.
build a quick
Yeah.
view for them to show them that as well.
So there are essentially two ways of going about building views and segmenting your data. The first one is, I'm sure you're all aware, is using lists with specific criteria that you can easily reference within your portal. But another one, as Blake mentioned, I'll just go into contacts, and we have quite a few tabs over here. But let's say you want to apply some filters like create date, for example, and I want to see only the contacts that have been created over a specific period of time. Let's say this month so far. I'll apply that, and I want to get a little bit more granular. I want to see contacts that meet a life cycle stage of marketing qualified lead. I'll apply that, and then I'll just add in the view, create a new view, and I'll say MQLs in the past month. Now you can select the private view, which will essentially just be private for you. You can choose a specific team. Let's say you have a marketing team within your company that you want to assign those contacts to, or for them to have the visibility of those contacts, or you want the view to be saved so everybody can see. Just click confirm. And that will essentially be those contacts. Nothing's reflecting for the time being, but the advanced filters have been applied, and they are applied to that view within your HubSpot portal under that tab.
Yeah, that's really great. One area is that when you create out these views, it might be worthwhile just hopping on a call with your team and just saying, all right, guys, let's have a look at our views, because it is something that is personal to the person. So although you can create the view, they would need to add it to their sort of dashboard in itself to have it populate there. And then they can go and remove ones that aren't relevant. So if we had one that was like unassigned contacts that maybe didn't match to them, you could go and remove that view. And so it only, they would be able to jump through at the start of their day and have a look at, the various different items. And this is great. Exactly like you said, yeah, MQLs in the past. You could also have a quick snapshot of contacts on where they are in the life cycle stage. If you ever wanted to, engage with people at a later stage, I personally am a big fan of some of these views.
Absolutely. And again, you can apply specific permission sets within your HubSpot portal. So not everybody is allowed to see specific views. If I go into all views over here, I can then see the object that view is assigned to, obviously when the contacts object, the view name, the specific owner, and then is it shared with everybody or is it private? And then I can also, again, see the default views for those contacts. So this is also where that customization also comes into play. So you've got the standard views, and then you have your custom views, which again have been created, which appear as tabs within your view over here.
Yeah, that's great. Perfect. Alex, I am conscious of time. What I want to
Yes.
do is just to all those who are attending, if you have any questions, we do have about 5 minutes left. So I want to use this time to just open up the floor on any questions. If there's an area that you would like us to run over again, we're more than happy to do that as well. This is being recorded, so it will be shared with you. I do fully understand that it is a Friday afternoon, and so some of this information might have very easily gone in and out through one ear and out the other. So yeah, we will share it with you in case you need. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, feel free to pop it in the Q&A now, and we can run through it from there.
I also just want to say thank you. I know it is a Friday, but thanks to everybody who attended
Mhm.
today. I hope you've enjoyed the session.
Yeah, definitely. That's a great one. I think it's testament if you're spending your Friday afternoon learning about custom views, it's really kudos to you. And I think it's such a great tool because HubSpot, obviously is a great CRM platform, but what makes it just that step above is it being able to customize to you and your business. And it's actually what I said earlier this morning to a client of mine. I said, you know, it's not necessarily that you're just getting this package that can do everything, but it's actually that it can fit within your business into the way that you and your team operate. Because at the end of the day, we do live in a world where we just bombarded with data left, right, and center. And as we go through, especially from a sales perspective, you really only want to see what is relevant to you to be able to get that deal over the line. And everything else is just fluff. So we may as well mold HubSpot to your guys' requirements, show you what matters through those custom views that Alex has run through to make your life a lot easier. Perfect. Well, I see that, either we did a fantastic job, Alex, on just running through everything and it is
Looks like
crystal
it.
clear. Yeah.
Looks like
Uh,
it.
what I will say is if you guys have any questions that maybe pop into your head later today, we will be obviously sharing this with you. You can always connect with Alex and I on LinkedIn. In that email
Yep.
that will be passed will be our LinkedIn profile. So feel free to pop us a friend request, and we'll be always happy to answer any questions that you have, any technical issues as well, and to help you on your HubSpot journey. Perfect. Well, with that, I am going to end today. Nicola, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for joining us. I wish you guys a lovely weekend and a great rest of August as it comes up to the end of July. And yeah, hopefully we'll chat soon.
Have a great weekend, everybody.